Hey, it's Gimme. How you guys doing this afternoon? Alright, back on the Minecraft. So, not too long ago, some of the homies asked me to add this world editor add-on to the realm, and I had kind of forgot about it. I haven't done anything to check it out, and I thought now would be a pretty good time. Maybe finish up this build here in the end. I gotta say the place looks pretty cool though, right? Like that light that's shining on the portal in the middle, like I put that in there. The particle effects, yeah, that's all me. Man, it looks good. And the egg is like secured with barrier blocks so nothing accidentally like knocks it off of there. I think it looks pretty cool. I like the sea lantern underneath it. Okay, so what I want to do is build something way up in the sky above the towers here. I don't know. Either some kind of sculpture or some kind of abstract thing. And I figured the world edit probably a good fit for this. So let's take a look, and if we go way down here, aha, here we go. We've got all the world edit tools. We got toolboxes. We got trays. Okay. Select wand, classic select wand, far select wand. Okay. Cut, copy, paste, flip, clipboard. Rotate clipboard. So I'm guessing you use the select tool and we can like grab a piece of the world, copy it to the clipboard, and then we can move it around like that. We can even scale it, undo, redo. That's going to be good. A ruler. Interesting. Just in my regular building, I wish I had like a ruler, something I could do to just like mark out 10 blocks that way, 10 blocks that way. A navigation wand. I'm not sure what the navigation wand does. Block picker, mask picker, clear mask. Draw lines. That could be neat. Draw spheres. Okay, we got a bunch of shapes. A torus. That's like a donut. Fill, replace, outline. Selection wall. Selection stack. Yeah, I'm not sure what a lot of these are gonna do. World Builder, that's what it's called, World Builder. Tool and Brush Manager and Run Command. Interesting. Well, let's see if we can start off small. Let's grab a toolbox. That's the first thing on the list. Sneak, use for options. Let's see what the options are.
Hi.
Okay, we can rename the toolbox. Change layout. Okay. Hey, it's Gus. How you doing? New tray, purple tray. Okay, so I think how this works is
Hey, it's at Donkey Gus, and welcome to the live stream.
the tool, if
Smiling
we
face
open the
with
toolbox, it
sunglasses.
gives us a different inventory. Yeah, so I really wish this is how shulker boxes worked, right? I wish you didn't have to, like, put it down on the ground and open it. I wish you could just open it and have, like, a new inventory. Alright, so, um, I think that's where the trays come in. So now we can have, like, sub-inventories in our toolbox. Okay, yeah, we'll get a purple tray. So if we go to there and open the tray, now we have yet another inventory. I can close the tray and go back into the toolbox.
Hi, how are you been?
Hey, it's Miguel. Been a while, hope you're doing alright. Yeah, I'm feeling okay today. You know, I went out and
Hey, it's at
bought
Miguel Hernandez
a
with
bunch
the
of
6
cleaning
subs, and welcome
supplies,
to the
and
live
I'm like,
stream.
yeah, I'm gonna do some spring
Smiling
cleaning.
face with sunglasses.
As soon as I got back from the store, I fell asleep. But you know, one step at a time. At least I'm trying. Okay, so I think I understand how the inventory on this works. So I guess we'll need the pick block thing. Kinda want to have an undo button in case something goes wrong. I want to see how this ruler works. And then I guess let's just try and make a sphere. Okay, the ruler item is used to display information about your current selection. It can also place down marker blocks to help you space out your design. To use it, create a selection using the selection wand. Press the use item place block button while holding the ruler item. Select how many markers you want
If you
to
also have
see
a YouTube,
using the
you can
slider
shout out
and
your
press
channel
submit.
here. No ban hammer if we do, we promise. Relieved face.
Okay, so the block picker is on magenta stained glass. Um. Oh. Okay. What if I do that? Oh, it's calculating. Oh, wait, that's gonna make a solid sphere. I wonder what's gonna happen to everything inside of it. If this messes up too much stuff, I might have to roll back the save file, but it needs more chunks loaded. Alright, go for it. Says I will not be able to move. Right. Okay, it hasn't stopped yet. It's still calculating. Am I gonna, like, crash the game? Oh, there it goes. There it goes. Oh, it just took a big old chunk out of the end island. Okay. Well, hopefully the undo button works. Okay, it brought it all back. That was a bit sketchy. We need to be a bit more careful. It looks like it broke my stuff. Okay. Oh, what's going on here? Okay, we've got a... It won't let me put anything... Oh, the particles are still there. It's glitched out the... Because there were 3 spots here with 3 particle effects stacked up. No, they're not there anymore, and they are absolutely... I was just saying how cool it looked with those effects that I put on there, but I completely messed that up. Okay, hold on, let's clear out... Hold on, we gotta get out of... Let's get out of the toolbox real quick. Where are my particle effects? Down here. So like we had one of those, and one of those. Let's see if I can just place a block right here using commands. Uh, something short stone. Oh shit. Just yeeted myself out of the end. Alright. Forgot how cool this place looked. I'm kind of glad we took a little break from Minecraft, because now that I'm back in here, it's all looking like super fresh, you know? Yeah, I like this map. I remember I think this might have been the first thing I built at spawn, was this house right here. And lots of tats, uh, like the terrain generation had this like almost connect, so we just went ahead and connected that and did a lot of the landscaping and decoration in this area. We're going over to the end dimension. Cool. That is cool. I like all the sparks like falling down from the portals up there. You know, it's dynamic. Okay, so we managed to place a block right there. Can we put another one there? Alright, yeah, that's gonna work. Can we put one on top of it? No. So we need to...
Hi Uncle Timmy, tell me my day was good. How was your day going? And why are you playing Minecraft instead of Fortnite, Uncle Timmy? Hey, it's at Gimme Jr., and welcome to the live stream.
What's up?
Smiling face with
Did I say
sunglasses.
I was gonna play Fortnite today? My bad. There we go. That's looking pretty cool. Oh, we got all of these right here. Okay, so let's grab a toolbox. We need a pick block. Let's get a draw sphere. Where is the undo button? We definitely want to have an undo button.
Hello.
I don't see it. Jade Fit 1, how you doing? Welcome to the Gimme Gang. Hope you're having a wonderful afternoon. Undo. Yeah, let's grab an undo button. Let's just grab a block and I don't know, I guess right here? Right here. No, closer to the middle. Let's go up like right here. And we want to go up
What does
above
the redo button do?
the tower. I'm pretty sure it redo the whatever you undo. I forgot to pick block. Okay, we want to pick some of this magenta. And then... Okay. Let's get rid of this.
I'm good. HBU?
I'm feeling alright today. It's invisible. That's an issue. I think what we need is lights. If we put lights on it, I think that'll be the answer.
Sorry for promoting my services. Do you have any plans to get custom stuff for the channel like logo, banner overlays, or maybe animated skirt? I would love to share my portfolio.
Hey, no problem. We're all about promoting people here in the Gimme Gang. Everything that I use for my channel is fan art made by the gang, but always like to meet fellow artists. You can definitely join the Discord if you want and drop some stuff in there.
Discord. Join the Gimme Gang Discord https://discord.gg/mt5fmgfhs6.
Now, when you join the Discord, there is a password you need to type into the new members chat. It's at the bottom of the rules page, so just make sure you read the rules and you'll get access to like all the channels and stuff.
Playing with some world edit, huh?
Why, yes, we are. Or World Builder is the actual name of it, right? The World Builder add-on. So it's done some pretty interesting things so far, but looks like we got some lights up here already. now if this ends up being cool, let's see how this turns
Oh
out.
yeah, I remember now. XD Trap was able to do quite a lot with it. I was struggling to figure it out. Skull.
I think this will make it visible because it was pretty much invisible down on the ground. I couldn't see it at all. Okay, yeah, I think that's gonna work. Okay.
That'll help a lot probably.
Okay, so I want to do some kind of installation, some kind of sculpture above the end island. And I don't know if I want to do like bubbles, like do a bunch of these spheres in different size and different colors of glass and do like basically like a bubble column. Or do I want to do like planets? I could make it look like a solar system or something like that up there. I think there's a tool that'll make rings around the that can do like to
I
make
get you.
a
Both
torrid.
sounds hella cool tbh.
So I'm still kind of deciding. Cause you know what? Like a solar system would look pretty cool. We could do like some effects to like light things up. That sounds a bit more difficult though. Uh, let's work with what we got so far. Let's put in a couple more
100%. If
bubbles.
you wanted, I could ask Trap to see if he knows how to create planets like that.
Yeah, I'm still not sure exactly what we're going with here. Let me make a few more and see what the vibe is. Yeah, maybe do some smaller ones.
Fair enough.
I got a pretty good idea of how I would make planets, especially like ringed planets. That would look really cool. You know, planets with rings around them like Saturn. Okay, the smaller ones look a bit cubish. Yeah, and then once we had the planets, we could like once they're a solid color, we could go back and edit like, you know, different like cloud patterns into them. Hmm. Yeah, see, this is why I haven't been playing a lot of Minecraft lately, is the indecision. Like, I get so many ideas and I just can't pick, like, stick to one, you know?
Makes sense. Sounds pretty sick. Give M like a detail work XD. What did it in?
This is the World Builder add-on.
100% I have the same issue with McXD.
Whoa, can see the little shadow of all the light blocks on the ground. That's crazy. Okay, let's start on the bottom. And just work our way up, I guess. And you know, I've got the undo button. I'm pretty sure I can just undo like all of this. And if that doesn't work, I can just use a fill command and just, you know, blast all of this out really quick. If I don't like how it's going. Yeah, now that I'm thinking about how I can use a lot of these build tools in conjunction with, you know, a lot of the commands that I use when doing big builds. And I really think it's gonna help me make some really cool stuff. Like, I'm already pretty good at building, but you give me a toolbox like this, holy crap, I don't know what I can come up with.
It's a powerful add-on, that's why we had you get it XD.
Yeah, as we go up, we could make them bigger and bigger, and then, like, make them smaller at the bottom if we wanted to do, like... Yeah, I do kind of like the idea of, like, a bunch of, like, bubbles, but I do think we need to have different colors. You know what? Why don't I just do both? I could do some of these cool, like, bubbles, like, right above, and then have that go into the solar system up top. I'm down. Game on. I've got a plan. So yeah, we do want to undo some of these. Like that.
Hit the like button to show your support with
And
heart
now we
smiling face with hearts.
have to get rid of all the light blocks. Uh, hold on, hold on.
If you also have a YouTube you can shout out your channel here.
We're
No
high
ban
enough
hammer
above
if you do it
everything. I'm not
promise.
worried about, like,
Relief face.
nuking anything on the ground. Okay, I'm on this. We need to get... There we go. Just any block down. Come on. Gonna be careful to not break the barrier blocks down there. Alright. Okay, I'm gonna go up just to, like, the top of the towers, and that's where we're gonna start everything.
Tackman likes tacos.
And when we do if we click undo, it's gonna make that little block's gonna be right back there. Now there is like a minimum size, because if we do it it's literally just gonna put one block on each side of that cube. So to keep them from looking square, there's like a minimum bigness we gotta do. Did that do it? Yeah, that one does not look very square. That's good, that's good. And we need to light it up immediately because, man, that thing is invisible. Whoa, wait. How much light should we put on this thing? Now that I'm thinking about it, do you see how much that thing disappears when we take the lights off of it? What if I just put one light block on the top? What does that look like? Okay, we're making effects now. That's crazy how it's invisible except for like just certain faces of the blocks. Oh, and then when it goes off, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I think we should not just
Damn,
go
the
ham.
backlight is hella transparent XD just blacks out the sky, looks cool as hell XD.
Okay, that's given us that like transparent bubble effect that I was trying to go for. But instead of lighting it up completely, we're leaving like most of it see-through. Oh, hell yeah, that's cool. And then we're gonna do different colors. I think we might keep it like cool colors like blues and purples. I don't think we're gonna throw in any like greens or yellows or anything. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna do red either. We need to pick block another color. We did magenta. Yeah, let's do a pink. So I gotta put down a pink glass, then I gotta hit it with the pick block. Okay, we're kind of off to that side. Let's go to this side over here. A little bit diagonal. Up right around there. I think that looks good. Yeah, I'm getting kind of excited. I can't wait to see how this turns. Oh, shit. I hit the pick block on the block I was trying to make the sphere from. Okay. So it's that one. And as I said, as we go up, we kind of want to make them bigger. That's roughly the size of the last one? No, that's the size of the last one. I think that should do it. And we'll throw a light on the top. And we'll throw a light on the bottom. And holy moly, yeah, this is gonna turn out really cool. I think we need some small ones in there though. Yeah, let's try to get some small ones in with like, I don't know, I guess we'll try blue. And I know I said the little ones we want to avoid because they're gonna look a lot square, but without them, I think it's gonna look a little weird. Yeah, that one's not exactly smaller, is it? And it's very, very square-like. I think we're about as small as these things will look good at. That's the same square size, right? Yeah. So we have to go one bigger than that. Yeah, ever since the vibrant visuals. Oh shit, pardon me. Ever since the vibrant visuals came out, like adding lighting effects to your build is now a thing. Like before, you could not like it was either it was light or it was dark, right? There were no lighting effects. And I think the best move they made was making it to where mobs spawn only in light level 0. Do you remember when it was like light level -7 that would spawn mobs? What a pain in the ass. You're like, you couldn't just look and tell if mobs are gonna spawn there. Like, you had to calculate, like, how many blocks away from the torch or the light source. I am worried about one thing, though. This is not gonna work in a dragon fight. Am I right? If we summon the dragon, it's gonna get stuck on, like, the stuff. It's not gonna be able to... Yeah. We'll see. I am going to, after I'm done with this end project, I am gonna fight the dragon and a wither in this end. And it's probably gonna wreck the whole place. But you know what? I mean, it's the end dimension. You're supposed to be fighting shit here. I know I'm making stuff just to destroy it, but that's kind of part of the fun. Eventually, this place is gonna be wrecked like everything else. Yeah, make a big one. Might need a few more light sources on the top of this one. Where's the middle at? Is there a middle? Okay, so let's see it from the perspective. Oh man, I love this hallway too. I like this whole like portal strip along the whole thing. So you spawn into the end dimension. Yeah, you can see them from back here. You follow the river portal. And then, yeah, you come in and all of this comes into view. Okay. It's not quite what I was expecting, but it's still, it's looking pretty cool. Kind of really like that pink one. Let's get another one of those pink ones in. Oh no, we gotta do purple next. Let's do purple next. Like I was saying, I think we do. It might be important to put some smaller ones in here. I gotta figure that out. Did that literally just make a cube? Oh wait, we gotta get rid of this. If we use that undo button, it's gonna put all that back, so there we go. It's working. It's working. um, right about here. Can I use that set block? Bam! That's what I should have been doing. Holy crap. That made it easy, right? Yeah, I love the reflection of all the purple stuff, like, on the water. Like, you get the right angle and you just see, like, all these reflections. Okay, so that's pretty cool for, like, some just, like, low-level effects. I think I'm gonna go in and put some, like, individual, like, there's single blocks in there as, like, particle effects. Um... Yeah, like what if I put one right there and then like maybe put another one right there and then that looks like a good spot. Oh, but I'll have to like yeah, if we put a light block on them, there we go. Uh I don't know. It stands out too much, I think. What if we remove the light blocks? Will I be able to find them again, or are they just gonna disappear? Okay, the light from the other ones is gonna light them up. Alright. Yeah, we're gonna use some individual glass blocks to make like some really cool particle effects to kind of gradate the color from one side to the other. You know, we put a bunch of pink particles around the pink one and then some blue ones around the blue ones, and then in the middle it's gonna kind of like blend together. And then I'm gonna, above this, like up there in the middle of all of the beacon beams up there, we're gonna put like a solar system, I think. And it's gonna look pretty awesome. I'm actually excited about this. You know what? We can turn down the intensity of these light blocks. And for these smaller ones, I feel like we need it to not be that bright. You know what I'm saying? What if we take that down to like a 12? Yeah, that's way better. Yeah, I was mentioning it before. Like lighting in Minecraft used to be so basic. It was either on or off, but being able to like customize the light levels on like all of my builds is pretty cool. Wasn't there one more of those little ones that I needed to? Well, if I don't notice it, I guess it's probably fine. No, it's that guy right there, right? Yep. I was like, I'm not gonna notice. Yep, saw it right away. Yeah, this is giving me inspiration. Like, I've been so dry on creativity for so long. I guess I just needed to play around with some new tools, you know? We need above that one, in between that one, I think right about here. And yeah, it's gonna be a purple one with the level 12s. Because they're so small, you know, the light goes from one side to the other side, like it's pretty much all lit up, whereas these ones have like that dark spot in the middle, you know? That big one at the top though, that's barely lit up. I can't decide if I like that or if yeah, I think I kind of like it that way, where it's kind of darker than the rest of them. Okay, we don't want to put too many in. I think if we add a bunch of the little particle effects in between, that's going to look really cool. So let's drop some blue ones around this guy. I like how the pink really stands out in all these colors. I think I want to put more of these pink particles than the other colors. And if we get more towards the top and bottom, they'll catch a bit more light. Fly down to the bottom just to make sure I'm doing it right. Yeah, that's definitely tying it all together. Alright. See how it looks from up on the platforms. It looks eerie. Yeah, I like it. It's subtle. It looks futuristic. Okay, I think we do want to put some blue in here though. Yeah, I don't want them all to be the same color. Yeah, it is a bit tricky trying to build something that's completely translucent. I mean, it's not quite transparent, but I mean, you can definitely see through that. Yeah, it's a bit abstract, but that's kind of what I was going for. I was looking for like more of an effect than like a statue or a build. Man, I love it. If the giant solar system comes out anywhere close to as good as this is going, this is going to be a really cool end dimension, that's for sure. Time for some chuggy wuggies. How's it look on the stream? Yeah, it looks super awesome on the live stream too. Like, it's not just like on my TV. Sometimes I build stuff that I think looks really cool because it looks cool on my TV, and then I look over at the stream and it's like, you can't really see it. It's not really that cool. Oh, you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of the Ender Star. On ArtCraft Season 1, Homie made a Enderman farm, but it was the Death Star. So it was the Death Star shooting a laser like down at a planet, and the laser was the chute that the Enderman would drop down, and the whole Enderman farm was inside of a replica of the Death Star. Yeah, it had to be the coolest Enderman farm I've ever seen. Had like X-wings flying around and stuff. Yeah, I don't know why I don't do more outer space builds and stuff. Like, this is really cool. A lot of this stuff is different than what I normally build, especially things like the Enderman crawling out of the void. That one. Yeah, I'm pretty proud of how that came out. And I still want to put some more of these like little void rifts around the island, you know? It's like one of those infinity mirrors where it just kind of looks like it goes on forever. Like, that was the whole idea. It didn't really place this guy too good. Like, man, kind of feel like I need to maybe extend this island out a little bit. Is that too much in the way? No, that looks fine. Okay. Little bit of debris around the outside to make it look like it's actually like punching up through the end island. Yeah, let's go out to the ring and see how it looks. I feel like I got too many of the single blocks on one side. Maybe? Or maybe I was just looking at it from a funny angle. I don't know, I kind of feel like that top one isn't lit up enough. What if we light up all the sides? Eh, how's it looking on the stream? Yeah, I think that might be the way to go. All right. Man, with these tools, I was able to blast out so much so quick. Yeah, I feel like this side over here was a bit empty. Yeah, I think that looks pretty dang cool. All right, so the next part is gonna be a bit more interesting. That was a bit of practice to get to know the tools a little bit in the builder. Next, we're gonna go a little bit more in depth. Is it 420? I think it's 420. It might be 520, but better late than never. Man, nobody stayed very long, did they? Yeah, after about an hour, it seems like everybody just kind of drops off. It used to be like 4 hours, and I would still have people like in the chat. Got this pre-roll here. It's not rolled very tightly. I gotta pack the whole thing back down. But I've had good experiences with this brand with their vapes. So let's see how the pre-rolls work out. Alright, that's nice and tight. I've switched to the torch from like regular lighters. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but it has gotten extremely windy outside. Like at no point is it ever just still. Seems like these days the wind is just non-stop blowing. Like I don't even go outside. I put my hair up every time I go outside. Or the wind is just gonna like whip it into a mess. Yeah, could never light a regular lighter outside. It would always just blow out. Yeah, it wasn't like that when I was growing up. The temperature wasn't so crazy either. Like, I don't remember the temperature swinging like 40 degrees every day when I was a kid. Like, I bring my winter jacket on my way to work at 5 a.m. and then I have to carry it home at night because the temperature swings so drastically. It's 83 degrees right now, but it might be 43 tomorrow morning when I'm going to work. And then again, on my way home, it's going to be like 80 degrees, and I'm going to be carrying like all of these jackets. All right, let's go up and see what our render distance is. Well, I guess that's going to be different for everybody. But let's get as centered as possible over the portal. Set a block. What do we make our planet out of? Or wait, this has got to be the sun. The sun is in the middle, right? So we're gonna have to use like glowstone or sea lanterns or actually shroom lights look like they might be the best bet. Confirm. I will wait. All right, yeah, that looks like the sun. Can't we see it from the ground? We can, okay. Alright, so now the vision might be coming into shape for some of you guys. Like up here, like around this ring area is where all the planets are gonna be. Holy cow, this is gonna look cool. And see, the thing is, if you know astrophysics, uh, there's what's called the galactic plane. Like everything circles the sun at basically the same level. So I didn't want to make something super flat, and that's why I started with the bubbles down here. I thought that would add some depth and bring it down towards the ground a bit. And that way it's not just a bunch of empty space. Oh, in fact, we might put in like an asteroid belt or something like that. Like, I don't think we're gonna do an exact replica of our solar system. That's not gonna be interesting enough. But I do want to make some, an Earth-like planet, maybe like a big ringed planet like Saturn. So how would we do rings around a planet? Does the builder have... Like, I know we can do a torus, and that's like a donut shape, but rings are gonna be a bit more flat. Yeah, would it let me just make a flat torus? I mean, honestly, I just need to make a ring. It'll do domes, okay. Maybe it's gonna be in the settings? Hold on. So if we crouch... Okay, hollowness, replacement, direction, vertical, horizontal. So we can fill in just the inside, fill in just the outside, or fill in just the center. Okay. Direction. I don't know what vertical versus horizontal means. Hmm. Alright, let's just try a few things. Experimentation time. So to make just a normal one, hold on, we need to pick a block. Shit. Let's use something we can actually see, right? Yeah, we'll grab a sea lantern, and then we need the block picker. Okay, this might work. Looks like there's... Oh, shit. I'll just go down here and get it, maybe? I hit the wrong button. Alright, so it should be... Trying to find that one block up here in the darkness is going to be about impossible. Oh, nope, I see it. Yeah, I think that'll work for making the rings, right? We could even, like, do another layer around the outside if we want to make the outside. Hold on. Because we're going to want to do, like, multiple rings. Oh, there we go. There we go. That worked. Okay. So yeah, we are going to be able to make rings. We're going to have to find the center point and put the rings in first and then fill the planet in the middle, but it's possible. Yeah, I think I'm just going to smoke this whole thing. But right now we need the undo button. This is going to be a lot to try and break down, even with fill commands, so... Dang, I wish Minecraft had an undo button like that. Holy cow. Okay, we don't need to be perfectly centered with the sun here, because all the planets in our solar system and our disk, they're up and down a few degrees. They're not on a perfect plane. But if you were to just spin around like this, you would be able to see all the planets in our solar system. You wouldn't have to look up there. You wouldn't have to look all orbit in the same latitude. Yeah, astrophysics is one of my hobbies. I watch a lot of documentaries. Honestly, I like how the shroom lights look as the sun. I mean, I was thinking maybe I should use glowstone because it would be a little more yellow, but or maybe magma blocks so it's not so bright. But I think that was a good idea. Maybe I should have used magma blocks. You think magma blocks would have looked better? Should we check? I'm pretty sure if I hit undo, it's gonna undo the sun. I don't know. No, looking at it on the stream, I think it's perfect. And not only that, it adds a little bit of light, in between the ground and those bubble structures. Yeah, that's totally awesome. And if you know anything about, parallel universe theory, like some people think, our universe, when it touches other bubbles, that's where these black holes and wormholes come in. In fact, it's not really a question if there are other universes, it's just a question of how many. There's almost definitely other universes out there. Kind of crazy to think about. Alright, actually I'm tired of smoking this thing. I don't think it's getting me high. Where's my vape? That always works. Okay, our first planet though we're gonna want to put farther out, I think. Well, no, some planets are close, some planets are far. But a big Saturn-like planet, yeah, it's got to be pretty far away. Oh, but we got to keep it relative to the size of that sun. Well, I mean, it's not going to be actually to scale because, millions of Earths would fit inside of an actual sun. And by those calculations, the Earth would be smaller than one of these blocks. Okay, one thing I'm thinking about is you come in from this direction. When you first enter the end dimension, I want it to be, I want that to be the best view. Okay, so rings. What do we make the rings out of? I think maybe we should do the rings in glass. Kind of like the bubbles, like we'll be able to see them, but we'll be able to see through them. But then we gotta choose like colors. See, this is where we can start to use more of like the reds and the yellows. What color are Saturn's rings now that I think about it? It's mostly water ice, right? Alright, I'm gonna start with some yellow glass. So what we want to do is make a giant ring that's like super thin. How did I make it just one block like I did before? I don't want to make it too big though. I can't tell if that's too big or not. Wait, why is the light all glitched out on these? Where's that coming from? And just as quickly we can undo it and redo it. Let's go. A felon, okay. Which side is it that you come in from? This side? Okay, I see where it's at. You guys probably can't see because it's so dark, but on my TV I can see where that ring is. And it needs to be much bigger. Like, see, as we fly up to it, we can see how, like, I don't know, I might have had it right the first time. I think I just was scared to go that big. Alright, let's give some light blocks. Man, I'm pretty hyped for Minecraft Dungeons to come out. Whoa, look at that. Why is that so much different? Like, it's almost a different color. It's lit up so much. It's fine. You probably won't see that side of it anyways. Okay, so I think that's good for the outermost ring. I think we should light it up. I think the color variance is gonna actually look pretty good. So I'm not worried about like lighting it up too much. If we can get like some color gradient in there like that, I think this will look pretty cool. Because it actually changes color with the light. If we can get a little bit of a... I mean, right now it's just gonna look like stripes, but if this might look cool or it might not, we'll see. But I think for, yeah, for rings, and then when we put in more, the lights are gonna be offset, and yeah. And then we'll go with an orange block this time. How close are we? Is that too close? We'll find out. We've got an undo button. No, I think that's perfect. Alright. And we want to make it thicker as they go towards the center. But we are going to want a couple of gaps in there. I'm digging the music too. This is kind of cool. That's the exact line we just did. What I want to do is get it like in just a little bit more. Hold on. I think that's where I want it. Yep. Doubled up the length of that one. Oh yeah, I got a cool idea. So basically, you see how there's like spots going around, there's the dark spots. Those we're gonna put the lights in a way where those dark spots make a spiral going in towards the planet. So yeah, we're gonna put like a spiral pattern like on the rings. Let's see if I can do one more. Yeah, these tools are definitely really cool. All right, now I'm trying to think of what the ratio is for like ring to planet. What's gonna look good? Like half the diameter, the radius, I guess, of the planet's circle. I think that should be about the thickness of the rings, maybe. Anybody out there into geometry? Want to leave a little bit of a gap. That's enough of a gap, I guess. Yeah, that's fine. In fact, we could just make a more significant gap right here if we wanted. Yeah, I think that works, and then we'll thicken that ring out a little bit. This really is a game changer. I mean, being able to just draw circles without having to like... Oh, I broke it. Oh, there it is. I need some light, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to set the lightings, the spiral up that I'm thinking. Like, I'm not gonna be able to set that up until the rings are actually put in. I mean, I know it seems kind of slow doing it like this, one ring at a time like this, but do you know how long it would take me manually, even in creative mode, to put down this many blocks? And believe me, I've done it before. There's a reason we're using the world edit. I really have no idea where this light is coming from. I mean, it's gonna be behind the planet, so I don't think it's gonna be noticeable, but that's really weird. Are we like outside the chunk border for the end island or something? Like, it starts like right here, and yeah, it looks like that's like the edge of like the end island right there. Maybe that's like where a different map starts. I don't know. Alright, let's go down to the bottom and see how it's looking so far. Holy moly, that's gonna look cool. Yeah, I'm gonna say we're doing it right. Even with the light glitch, I think we're gonna make it work pretty good. And yeah, see what I mean by the lights, how it's making like stripes, how the color like radiates? We're gonna use that to our advantage. We're gonna make like spirals on the rings. Yeah, I think just that might actually be enough rings. I think we want to go back to orange and then do like a yellow. Or maybe we should switch to like purple or magenta. I think magenta.
Sup Gimme Gang.
Hey, look who it is, everybody. It's the one and only Lots of Tats. How you doing? Thanks for joining us. Hope you're having a wonderful afternoon. We are using
Hey,
a
it's at
add-on called
LotSoftBot7620, and welcome to the
World
live
Builder.
stream.
This is called the
Smiling face
World
with sunglasses.
Builder add-on. I know I said World Edit in the stream title, but it's actually World Builder. And holy cow, is it cool. I'm making some pretty cool stuff already. We're making a solar system, and it's gonna look really cool. We used the World Builder to make these like bubbles down here,
I thought about trying it out.
and man, look how this came out. How transparent the glass is, and we just put like lights on the tops and the bottoms. Yeah, with the cool bubble effect above the end portal, and then like all the planets we're gonna put around the massive sun up there. And also shout out to the Realism VFX pack. You know, the light that I have shining down on the end portal here, and like all the the blue particle effects. There should be blue particle effects. There they go. I guess I wasn't close enough. So a lot of the particle effects and lighting effects I get from that add-on pack. Yeah, that makes the thing look so cool. 54 months, good lord. Thank you so much. In fact, we are like 80% of the way to getting our next YouTube check. We just need like another, I don't know, $20 or something. And I think the membership fees will get that next month, so I'm pretty happy. It does add up, and I do get it. And it saves my ass every time. Okay, get out of the elytra. Okay, so now we need to make the planet. And for that, what block are we going to use? Yeah, we're going to need an opaque block. We'll probably should just use one of the concretes, right? And then we'll go back through and texture it with like, swirly clouds or whatever. Or maybe I should start off with like something with some texture on it. I could always just use dirt. That kind of makes sense. But no, I'm making a gas giant. Oh, okay. I wonder if I could use this tool, because we're gonna make a sphere, but then I wonder if I can use this to like make a sphere of like glass on top of that. And that way it'll look like the planet has like an atmosphere. Hmm. Yeah, a lot to think about here. Crying obsidian might be a cool like base color for a planet. Would have a lot of texture too. That's a good call. But trying to put other colors on top of that isn't gonna work out too well. maybe some wool? I think wool would look better than concrete, yeah? Alright, so let's grab some tools. We'll need the... down here somewhere. Yeah, if we were more organized, we'd be using the toolbox and the trays, and that way I don't have to keep, like, opening the menu and grabbing stuff. But you know, if I can make one of these toolboxes in survival, I'm gonna do that because when you open it, it replaces your entire inventory. You know, it's how shulker boxes should work. Like here's my inventory, and then we open the toolbox, and now this is everything in the toolbox. I guess I put that in there. But yeah, and then you close the toolbox, and there's your original inventory. But you can go even one deeper, and that's where the trays come in. So you can open your toolbox, and then you can have trays in here that have their own inventories as well. So yeah, if I was smart, I would take advantage of all of that stuff, but I'm still like really new to this add-on. So I'm still learning, you know? So what we're gonna want is the block picker and then the sphere drawer. Hold on, if I crouch and click on this, I can go to sphere. Hollowness, okay, there we go. So I think this is where I would go. If I wanted to put... If I wanted to put a layer of glass around the sphere, I think this is what I would need. But I don't think we're gonna change that for now. Let's, guess we're gonna try this in blue. How big of a gap do we need to leave between the rings and the planet? It's gonna look weird if if the planet's too small. It's also gonna look weird if it's like touching the rings, right? So I'm guessing I need a bigger gap than I have in between the rings. Right, because there's gaps in the rings, and I need to make the gap between the rings and the planet bigger than that. And that should scale enough to... Alright, we can always undo it if we don't like it. So let's just go ahead and get this cooking. Alright, and there's our planet. We'll probably have to light it up, because I don't think we'll be able to see it from down here, but... Okay, that's actually really cool. I think I did make the planet a bit... well, that's the thing. I think I made the rings too big. Because that's about as big as the planet can get in there. Oh, to put the layer of glass around it like I wanted to, that would actually mean I would have to get to the center of that thing to place the sphere to draw it out to the outside. So I probably should have made that hollow. But if I make it hollow, I'm gonna have to light up the entire inside of that thing, right? And I was really hoping the planet would be big enough to kind of cover that light glitch in the back there. I don't think it's going to hurt us too much. I still think we'll be able to use the lights to make like a spiral going in towards the planet on the rings. Yeah, I'm just deciding whether I want to keep it or retry. Yeah, I think I did too many rings is the problem. Went a little too big. I think we can solve this pretty easily with the commands here. Oh, well, not the commands. In fact, I can't. I've already been coming up with ideas on how to use these tools in combination with already existing Minecraft commands. Look at that. Look at that. Okay, I think I'm gonna back it up one more. There we go. I think I can fix it from here. We need to make that red one a little less thick and then get that purple one in there. How cool is that? Man, I wish Minecraft had a undo button. Like when you freaking drop the wrong item. You know how many pickaxes I've accidentally thrown into lava? Or like how many times I accidentally broke a block that took like a really long time to place because you had to like, it was in the middle of a redstone machine or something. Yeah, an undo button. So handy. Alright, so I think I've learned enough that let's grab a toolbox and put the tools I need on there. So let's get a toolbox. We open that toolbox. Now we get a tray. I guess we'll get a purple tray for my pink toolbox. Then we open the tray. Now in here we can put all of our tools that we've been using most often, like our spheres and circles and everything. And this way we're not going to have to keep going through all this stuff. You know what, I can just do something like that. Right. And then maybe throw in the straight line too. Alright. No, what we should do is throw in an undo button. We should have an undo button in like every level of our tray. Okay, then in the toolbox here we can put blocks that we're using a lot. And that way I can switch between stuff without having to like clear my whole hotbar, maybe? I don't know. I'm really interested to see if I can craft these toolboxes and these trays in survival mode because that would be super OP compared to like shulker boxes, am I right? Alright, give me 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. Alright. Man, that smells good. I ran out of like everything all at once, so I went down to the store and I got some really good deals. Got new conditioner, new soap, new deodorant, and man, it smells good. Like leather and sandalwood. Trying to remember what I want to do right now. Rings. Yeah, we want to put an. We're gonna need one of those, and then a magenta, right? Oh, one of the things I did not grab for my toolbox. Wait, I thought the tray was inside the toolbox. Okay, so that's closing the toolbox. Alright, so let's not put those in the toolbox. And we can literally put anything we want inside this toolbox and inside this tray. See, mask picker, mask clear, the ruler. I'm really curious about what a lot of these things do. Like the selection tools, I know we can just like select chunks of the world and copy it, and then we can rotate it in the clipboard and place it. Also, I'm kind of curious to see this ruler in action too. We might use that for the next planet. We'll see. No. There we go. Okay, so open my toolbox, pick block that one, open my tray. See, I'm getting the hang of it, guys. See, I think that's where we had our first gap in the red, and I didn't want that there. So now we can... Oh, what did I just do? I just turned our one block into glass. I made the smallest possible toroid or torus, and it was 1 block. Yeah, I want to make this the thick boy ring. Well, we want to make it as thick as this one at least. Yeah. This is working. All right. Close out our toolbox. Grab a magenta. You know what I should do? Let's take a light block. I can't see. That's the thing. I can't see anything. There we go. All right. Now we're cooking with gas. Let's pick our block. Open my tray. We got this guy right here. All right. I think we're doing better already. Close. Close that. Close that. This okay, I'm starting to get used to the world builder tools and I really like it. Like if anybody is, technically inclined, this is good. Last time we went with light blue, but I'm thinking maybe cyan should be the play right now. You get a lot of blues and cyans in the clouds of Saturn. Especially up by the poles. And I mean, I'm not trying to remake Saturn, but I am trying to make a gas giant. And that's pretty much the best example we have in our solar system, so. Oh, yeah. And then I remember I wanted to put. I wonder if there's a way I can make a sphere inside a sphere. I think we should make it. Yeah, we should go with the hollowness thing and see if we can figure that out. Hollowness. I wonder what hollowness 16 even means. Hollow wall. Okay, so if I pick outside, yeah, this is starting to make me think I can pull this off. Well, let's just see what it does. Confirm, brother. You got all the computing power you need. Just make it happen. So in order to build something like this before, I would have to get online to one of those websites that have like Minecraft templates. There's one that I usually go to, and there's like, sliders and everything. You can say, I want a sphere this many blocks wide or whatever, and it would spit you out a block template, and I would use that to make like all my spheres and stuff. It is hollow. Holy cow, it actually spawned me inside of the thing. Wait. Holy cow. That's not what I wanted. Alright. That's why we got the undo button here. Okay. Let's, the fact that I can just try it again without having to reload and, like, reload an old save and roll things back. So convenient. Yeah, if you're thinking about checking out these tools, especially if you're an awesome builder like Lots of Tats, I highly recommend it. Again, it came out way too big. Now we got Enderman going around. Oh, come on. Hold on, let's close that, then we pick block, put that back, open our toolbox, open our tray. We can even rename that tray so I know what I put in all of these. Oh, hold on. That's not what we want to do. No, exit, exit. We want to crouch, spear. Yeah, let's put it. Okay, so this is how it comes default except for hollowness. Usually its hollowness is 0, and that makes just a solid sphere. I'm gonna do hollowness 16, but we're gonna do center, keep it all like it, you know, was originally. And let's see if that makes a hollow sphere for us. Yeah, we're gonna have to do something about the Endermen spawning up here, but I don't think that's gonna be too much of a problem. I mean, I don't even mind waiting while it calculates this stuff because, that generation bar is pretty accurate. Okay, so it's just adding like 16 blocks to the inside, I think. Wrong. Wrong. Okay, so, well, hopefully this will just make me the sphere I want. Let's start there. Coming in hot. Now, mind you, it's not even lit up yet, but we can still see it pretty good from down here. Yeah, that's looking a lot better. How am I gonna light this thing up, though? Holy crap. Let's start with the rings. I want to do the cool, like, spiral light pattern on the rings. Okay, so let's close the toolbox. And then let's, save our toolbox for later. And that way we can clear our hotbar. Let's get some light blocks. Yeah, we're gonna need to put these farther apart in order to get that, like, darker strip in the middle. In between them. And then, yeah, we got this shit to deal with. Hopefully, I think the planet's big enough now that that might not be too noticeable, but I'm pretty sure I saw, like, the rings behind the planet, too. See, this is where we were experimenting with the spiral idea. The problem is these rings aren't that thick. When I'm over here, this doesn't look like that big, but when I'm down there, I'm like, holy shit, it's huge. So I'm thinking just aim for like the edge of the planet and go in a straight line, maybe. So we're gonna have to go how far away? And then aim for the edge of the planet there. Is it working? Kinda. Kinda. On a bigger scale, this would work really well. Now that I'm looking at it, the planet is way too big. Yeah, that we're gonna redo that. I'm a big fan of if I don't like it, I'm gonna tear it down and redo it. And this makes it even easier for me to do that, so I think that's pretty cool. Yeah, I feel like we needed a more significant gap in between the ring and the planets. Yeah, there we go. Now we're... It needs to look more like a sombrero and less like a fedora. Yeah, this is gonna work out just fine. See, I was trying to do some shallow angles on these light blocks to kind of hopefully get it to blend in with that light glitch in the back, but don't know if that's gonna be possible. Yeah, let's just try some different angles. That wasn't exactly a straight line either. Oh shit. What'd I just break? It doesn't matter. Nobody's gonna notice, hey, there's one block missing from this circle right here. Yeah, maybe it'll be easier if we start in the middle like that. And then instead of aiming for the edge, let's go more for... Maybe we should just pick a diagonal. You know what I'm saying? Like, and just go every block in that diagonal. But to make it a spiral, we do kind of want it to curve in, don't we? Something else I just realized, we can adjust the light level of these light blocks. And yeah, from right here, I don't think the diagonal would work. But maybe like that? It's getting close. I think maybe if I put the lights farther apart? Let's start simple and see if we can... Damn it, I gotta stop doing that. I think we're trying to do something more complicated when we should be... Let's just start with a simple radius, right? Like if we wanted to do that, and then we wanted to have like a dark spot in the middle there. Well, we should probably make these lights less bright so that we could put more in there. But like I said, we're starting simple. So how far away until this gets dark? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, about 10 or 11. So if we go to where it gets dark and then go over this way, like 1, and then if we just go straight in, I guess. Well, I guess we can't really go straight in, but okay, that indeed did make a dark spot, and I can definitely tell where I broke that freaking glass. I was like, nobody's gonna be able to tell from that far away. Yeah, that was obvious. That was so obvious. Yeah, I think we want to try and use different light levels at this point. This is getting a lot more artistic than I thought it was gonna be. So let's do like a light level 10 guy, and we can copy him. So we took it down about 5 notches. Okay. Hmm. So if we use this, the light blocks to make these little dark gaps in here, if we start to make those kind of random, I think maybe that would look pretty good. Not gonna start second guessing everything that I'm doing, but you know, it's new territory for me, so I'm kinda treading cautiously. Yeah, looking at it from down here, I think that's probably gonna be the play. That should make it look pretty realistic. Going up, it takes a lot longer to get up than it does to get down, right? I think it's gonna work. I think we're on the right track here, especially if we start using different light levels on our light blocks. Kind of like how we got a bright spot right there. We can't let it get down to level 0, though I'm pretty sure this is still... They're spawning up there and teleporting to the rings. We're gonna light the planet up. If we light the planet up, that's gonna affect the light on the rings. So maybe I should do the planet first. Hmm. Yeah, once I light up this planet, the rings are gonna look way different. That's weird. Do you see how that light block looks like it's in shadow, but it's still giving off light? It's that weird light glitch. I'm trying to do this evenly, but I have a feeling I'm just gonna start like throwing them on here randomly. Yeah, like let's just go. In fact, if we do the lighting too evenly, I think that's gonna take away from the effect. I think to make this look like a gas giant, we need to get like some wavy, like light patterns in here, right? Can't tell which ones I'm accidentally turning off and which ones are just not there. That's so weird. Is this working? I have no idea. What's this gonna look like when we walk away? I don't know. We're in new territory here. I normally don't build like this, and I normally don't build subject matter like this either. Like, I usually avoid building things like spheres and geometric shapes on purpose. Because when things are asymmetrical, you notice. Like, your eye just, like, gets drawn to the imperfections. But when you're building something that's more organic and, like, free-flowing, there are no wrong answers. You get all Bob Ross with that shit. But thanks to this add-on, I can now start branching out into like more geometric building and more even building. Because I really just don't like having to sit there and count blocks. Like if you ever tried to do a mega build and like you have to have like all of these this many blocks apart or it looks weird, and you end up counting out like 10 blocks 100 times or 1,000 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Next one. Yeah, it's tough. I'm doing my best to get the most uneven lighting possible. And it's gonna be okay to have dark spots on the bottom, because mobs can't spawn on the bottom. Alright, let's take a trip downtown and see what we're looking like. Exactly as I planned. Alright, and yeah, I'm surprised the lights on the planet do not affect the rings very much at all. Yeah, and then we're not gonna leave the planet just a single color like that. We're gonna go in and do some detailing. Try to put a bit of banding on it, I guess. But the lighting is really doing some heavy lifting with giving us some texture on those just solid colored blocks. Yeah, I think it looks cool. But that kind of worked, just like doing like that wavy pattern around the whole thing. I think I went a bit too much. I probably should have done less. There we go, we'll double up the tens right there. Let's get a bit farther away, and these 15s might be a little too bright. No, I think that worked. I still don't know what we're gonna do over there by the light glitch. I still don't know why the light blocks on. I thought it was on this side. They're over here. Yeah, why are these looking like that? They're obviously putting out light. but they're not. But the icons themselves look like they're in shadow. So weird. Okay, we probably can't get rid of it, but we might be able to make it look less obvious. Yeah, out here on the back side, we're going to use all of these 15 brightness because those are going to help us cover up that lighting glitch right there. Now we're going to switch back to those 10s. Okay, okay. Think we have made it all the way around. Yeah, let's go take a look now. Pretty cool. Like, I can tell where I went a little too hard on the backside, where the lighting glitch is. Yeah, you can't even tell it's a lighting glitch now. Hmm. I see a couple of spots where I want to touch up a little. There's a really big dark spot right here. Oh yeah, with all the bubbles above the portal, and then like that's just the first planet. Like we're gonna have, like I said, a whole solar system of planets going around. Wow, this looks so cool. Yeah, I'm really happy with how transparent the glass is, and then putting the small amount of light on them to make them just barely visible. That's gonna look really cool once we get a bunch more planets up here. Yeah, let's see what it looks like from on the rings. Yeah, yeah, here we go. This is gonna be cool. I know our first planet is like the size of the entire sun, but trust me, it's gonna work. In fact, that might be the biggest one we make. Well, we might make one bigger, but it's not going to be bigger than the rings on that one, right? This is going to be one of the coolest things I ever build, for sure. What's that look like on the stream? That looks awesome. All right, looking at it on the stream, I do want to light up the rings of the planet just a bit more. Man, can't see anything through that blast. Yeah, it's working. If I just keep at it, I'm gonna get it. Just like all the other stuff in here. Man, I mean, a lot of the build in this end city was, planned out, but there's a lot that was like first time, let's just try see if it works, like this guy here. And the little end portal rifts in the ground. Like I tried a lot of new stuff building this place, and yeah, I'm still not done. I'm pretty sure I still need to finish some of these platforms, right? I always do that. I always get ahead of myself. I won't finish one part and I'll move on to the next. Yeah, see, we got at least a couple of platforms that need finished down here. Oh yeah, look at all the ones without the lights on the top. But yeah, we still got a bunch of work to do. It's gonna look really cool going around this ring, trying to find the end city you want to go raid or whatever. This is definitely going to end up being one of the coolest end city builds you'll ever see. Should we go even farther and put like stars in the sky? Up behind everything? I don't know. Most people aren't going to have their render distance up high enough to even see like half of this, I don't think. Unfortunately, that's my guess. But yeah, I think I'm gonna call it a night. We did some pretty intense building. The number of blocks we got placed just in the last couple of hours. Pretty impressive. And then once we're done building all this, we're gonna summon the dragon and see how much of this shit he just absolutely obliterates. Right? We might even like summon a couple of withers in as well and fight those guys here. That's gonna be crazy because as soon as some of this glass starts breaking, people are gonna start falling through the the portals. As soon as the dragon swoops in, all that glass is probably gonna be done. I don't know. I might have put it in just the right place, but we'll see. Yeah, I can't wait to just wreck this whole place. We're gonna keep a backup, of course. What a cool place, though. Alright, guys. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in. Make sure to hit a like and a subscribe. And as always, I'll see ya when I see ya. Later, taters.